Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another afternoon of All-Star International Professional Wrestling, presented to you by Dale Martin Promotions in conjunction with Joint Promotions. Your first contest this afternoon is a catchweight contest consisting of 6 5-minute rounds. 1 fall, 1 submission, or a knockout to decide the winner. Between, on my left end in the red corner from Northfleet, Mike Shannon. His opponents on my right end in the blue corner from Bexley Heath, Steve Kelly. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you know, Steve Kelly is 17 years old, so come on, let's give him some encouragement. Ladies and gentlemen, your referee for this afternoon's wrestling is the international third man, Max Wall.
First round.
Hello again, Grapple fans. Good afternoon to you, and welcome to the Fairfield Halls here in Croydon. Another freestyle wrestling session on its way to you. And we start this afternoon's proceedings with a catchweight contest. I hesitated there because sometimes a man will go up a weight to take on a man heavier, but this time it is a catchweight bout because there's a stone difference. Steve Kelly, the young boy, and I mean young, he was 16 years old in February this year. That's him with the darker trunks. Back to canvas now. That's Steve Kelly from Bexley Heath at 11 stone 7. And standing up with the pure white trunks, also blonde hair, Mike Shannon. Shannon from Gravesend in Kent. 12.5 stone, a stone heavier than Steve. And it's going to be quite an interesting bout, this preliminary contest of 1 fall to decide, 6 rounds, because neither of these fellows have ever been on the small screen before. This is their first televised appearance. Max Ward, we can't say the same about him. Of course, we all know him. The Birmingham referee, Max Ward. There he is. It's quite curious about his name, Shannon, because actually he said to me in the dressing room before the bout, sometimes I'm called Mike, sometimes Mick, but actually his build, I think, this afternoon is Mick Shannon, so we'll try and keep to that. Just like the footballer, a bit confusing. So it's Mick Shannon versus Steve Kelly, and it's Shannon in the white, very much lighter trunks. And this packed capacity crowd here at the Fairfield Hall, always fair, I'm sure will give these two comparative newcomers, because they haven't been pros for too long, a couple of amateur years in amateur wrestling club, but Shannon has been a pro for a couple of years, but only part-time. That's about the fairest, one of the fairest crowds we ever get, I think, in a televised wrestling show at the Fairfield Halls, Croydon. They really appreciate the moves and really give encouragement, especially to comparative novices like this boy, Steve Kelly. Yes, he went over to relieve the tension. Very clever, very neat move. I thought he was going for a posting, take him on the somersault with that arm roll. Head mare. Now Shannon over the top, shoulder cross press, but didn't work. Thrown off nicely by Kelly. So Shannon trying the full Boston Crab, gets it. Double knee hold now to Kelly as a counter. Double leg Nelson again, the counter from Shannon. But through the ropes. Just a minute to go, toe and ankle to Shannon. And the leg spread with Shannon the advantage. Now, a lot of people say to me, why can't he move back? But if he does, of course, Shannon will go with him. He's got to step over the top. That's it. Complete the somersault and he's out of trouble. 15 seconds to go in this first round of 6. Still the double leg grab, folding press, the shoulder blades on the table, but the bell will save him. And the bell did save him just. And just get that applause from this packed capacity crowd here at the Fairfield Halls, Croydon, for the boy who just saved himself, or the bell saved him at the last second. I'm not sure whether he would have got to the 3 out, the referee, but Steve Kelly lives to fight another round at least.
Second away, round 2.
Round 2, and of course no score because this is a 1-fall contest over 6 rounds. Steve Kelly, curly-haired boy in the darker trunks, from Bexley Heath, 16-year-old, just come into the business, trained by who better than the great Mike Marino himself. Mick Shannon from Gravesend in Kent, the white trunks standing over him now, golden boots, and obviously a couple of years experience, therefore more experienced than Steve Kelly, but nicely thrown off there by Kelly. Referee Max Ward won't have too much trouble with the foul moves in this one. Interesting preliminary contest, and it's great to see Dale Martin Promotions put on a novice bout, a comparative novice bout over the top. Ooh, double leg Nelson nearly on. Folding press nicely on by Steve Kelly. Can he hold it? He can. He got it. Kelly got it. Well, I would have bet any money in the world that Mick Shannon would get that. And the first to applaud him is Mick Shannon, his opponent in the white trunks there. Great bout. What a pity it was so short. A surprise of all time. Steve Kelly, you get that applause. Wonderful. Against a 2-year-old pro, the 16-year-old wonder, Mike Judd.
Ladies and gentlemen, a dream debut, a win in the second round for 17-year-old Steve Kelly. Ladies and gentlemen, it is not an easy thing for an older man to, I shouldn't say older, he's a young man. He's older than Steve Kelly. It's not easy for him to accept that he's been beaten in the second round by a 17-year-old, and to accept it the way he has done, I'm sure everyone here give him a magnificent round of applause. Ladies and gentlemen, all that Mike Shannon could keep saying is, he's a very good boy, he's a very good boy. Give him a big hand, ladies and gentlemen, Steve Kelly. And ladies and gentlemen, come along now, Mike Shannon. What a sportsman, Mike Shannon.